him. Problem must go. This afternoon, return joy to you in the name of Jesus.
Every arrow that the enemy shoots at you will break. In the name
I
of Jesus.
command every door of favor, every door of breakthrough, every door of blessing to swing open for you and all yours in the name of Jesus.
So this afternoon, I want to briefly show us how to connect with the blessing. First of all, let's go to that book, the book of Genesis chapter 12. Pastor Jukes read it. Brother Andrew is in the spirit this morning. All my scriptures he used, but praise be to the Lord. I think he went and looked at my notes, but God Almighty showed it to him in the spirit. The book of Genesis chapter 12 verses 1 to 3. I will read quickly. Now the Lord has said to Abraham, get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you, or I will curse him who curses you. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. I'm reading from the New King James Version. We'll go to the Amplified later. Hallelujah. The New King James Version is okay. Now, I want to define the blessing to you before we move on. The blessing is a special favor, mercy, or benefit. A special favor that is granted to someone, a special mercy, or a benefit that is granted to somebody. It's a favor or gift bestowed by God, thereby bringing happiness. No wonder the Bible says that the blessings of the Lord brings riches. It brings riches, but adds no sorrow unto it. So a blessing is a favor or a gift bestowed upon someone that brings them happiness. It is the invoking of God's favor upon the person. So when the favor of God is invoked upon you, it is the blessing of God. The blessing encompasses the opposite of all the curses that Adam brought unto mankind. When he made that treason, when he committed this treason in Eden, the treason brought curses unto mankind. The curses unto mankind was one of them was spiritual death. There was sickness and there was poverty. But the blessing turns around those curses into the blessings of God. So it brings eternal life. It brings health. It brings longevity. And it brings back our prosperity. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I'm getting excited. I was telling Pastor, I said, the more I read into this, the more excited I get. Because I know that by the time you finish today, your faith level would have risen up. You would have known who you are in Christ, and you would know that the blessing belongs to you in the name of Jesus. Now let's read it. Let's read that scripture. Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 3 in the Amplified Version. Quickly put up Genesis 12 in Amplified for me. Now, in Haran, the Lord said to Abraham, go for yourself, for your own advantage, away from your country, from your relatives and your father's house, to the land that I will show you. Verse 2. And I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you with abundant increase of favors, and make your name famous and distinguished, and you will be a blessing, dispensing good to others. Verse 3. And I will bless those who bless you, who confer prosperity or happiness upon you. Now you're getting where that the definition of the blessing is coming from. And curse him who curses or uses insolent language towards you. People who say that you will not make it, they are being cursed this month. In the name of Jesus. In you will all the families and kindred of the earth be blessed, and by you they will bless themselves. Hallelujah. So this afternoon, by Abraham I bless you. By Abraham I confer the blessings of God upon you. Your countenance will rise up again. In the name of Jesus. Joy will follow you. In the name of Jesus. Now one thing that I want us to pull out of there is in that verse, of the blessing. So this afternoon I want to talk to you about favor as part of the covenant, the covenant of the blessings of God. Favor is defined as to regard with kindness. I was listening to Tafidola, Creflodola's wife. She said favor ain't fair. It's not fair at all. You just look at somebody and you decide to be kind to that person. That is favor. When King David looked around after he had done everything that he needed to do, he called his people together and said, who else is in the house of Saul that I can show the kindness of God to? That is 2 Samuel chapter 9 from verse 1. Saul was the enemy of David. Why would David want to show kindness of God to him, to his family? And Ziba, the servant of one of the servants of Mephibosheth, came and said, there is a man who was lame, who was dropped when he was born. His name is Mephibosheth. Go and bring him. David said, let me show kindness to him. And David restored Mephibosheth. Mephibosheth was the grandson of Saul, the son of Jonathan. Why did Mephibosheth, what granted him kindness of God, of David? It was favor. Favor is to regard someone with kindness. As you go into your world this week, you will be regarded with kindness. In the name of Jesus. Favor also means to showcase or to preview somebody. Favor will bring you from the ground, from non-entity, and you will be showcased even where kings are sitting. This is your story in the name of Jesus. People will just begin to preview you. Sometimes I'm on LinkedIn. And when I open my LinkedIn file, they will say somebody has viewed my file. Somebody has reviewed me. And then I will be and then some people will send messages to me. They will say, we've reviewed your file and we think that you are good for this position. Can you come and attend an interview? That will be your portion in the name of Jesus. Somebody in high authority will preview your life and they will call you and they will show you favor. If you are that one, receive it. In the name of Jesus. Favor means to endorse somebody. Hallelujah. Some people in the Republican Party, they are endorsing, what is his name? Donald Trump. This is how he makes his finger when he's talking. Hallelujah. They endorse him. They favor him. But a lot of people are disfavoring him because of what they see in him. And they are endorsing Hillary Clinton. Hallelujah. Now, when those ones that are endorsing him, they are favoring him. And the same way, God endorses us as his children. You are being endorsed for greatness in the name of Jesus. Favor means to aid or to support somebody. It means that God is looking at you and is saying, let me pad her up a little bit. I think she needs to be supported. Let me send aids to her. I need some angels. Angels, go to that lady. Go to that man. She needs help. He needs help. You are aided in the name of Jesus. You get support this month from heavenly realm in the name of Jesus. Favor means to assist somebody. Favor is a major characteristic of the blessing. The blessing of God is favor of God. It's major in the blessings of God. Now, what qualifies us for God's favor? Before we go, we talk about what qualifies us. I want to quickly bring us to the level that we are right now. You see, Abraham received favor from God because he was part of the covenant. God made a covenant with him in that Genesis chapter 12. That take yourself and your family out, and I will show you where you will go, and I will show you favor, and you will be a blessing, and generations after you will bless you. Hallelujah. So after he left that place, after he got that, he was favored by kings of the land. So now I want you to begin to look at how the pattern of favor began to go from one generation to the other until it gets to us, and how we fit into that. Now, when he went to Egypt, the Bible said that he went down to Egypt. If you look at that Genesis chapter 12, 14 to 20, anytime you see somebody going down, when they say they are going down to Egypt or going south, it means that where they are is not good. Today, you might be down to somewhere, but favor will find you out. In the name of Jesus. When Abraham went down to Egypt, even the king Pharaoh, when he got to Egypt, he lied. They said, who is this beautiful woman that you have? And he said, okay, that's my beautiful sister. When my mother born me, they born her after. He lied. But despite the lie that he made, because of the covenant that God had with him, he still obtained favor in the eyes of that Pharaoh. You see, your life is not about what you have done. It's not about where you are. It's not about the lies that you have told. It's not about the abortions that you have committed. It's not about the money that you took from the bank, that you stole from the bank that you were working at. It's about the favor of God. The favor of God will locate you this month. In the name of Jesus. He was favored by kings of the land. When he went again to another town after this one in Genesis chapter 20 verse 14. He met another king and King Abimelech, and he told the same lie again. He said, because his wife was very beautiful. You know, I told you the other, I take after Sarah. Beautiful woman. Every woman here is after Sarah. Beautiful women. And when king, the man saw, this one is good. Another king, Abimelech. The first one was Pharaoh. This one is King Abimelech. This woman is fine now. What is, my husband will say, how is your hand? Tells me that all the time. How is your hand? He was telling, that's the slang we used in the olden days. So my kids will be asking, what does it mean? How is your hand? But the king was asking, how is the hand of Sarah? Trying to, I don't know what you guys say these days, anyway. But the king, and Abraham said, she's my sister. And again, God showed him favor. Because when after God showed Abimelech in a dream that if you touch her, you have touched Magoo, don't climb. Amen. If you touch her, you are dead meat. So he woke up and went to Abraham. Abraham, I beg, take your sister. I'm not querying you. You say she's your sister? She's your sister. Please take her. I have found out by God that she's actually your wife. Take her and take cattle. Take a lot of other things. I don't have time to read all these scriptures, but go home and read it and see how God favored Abraham. Despite the fact that he did not even go, because he went down to where God didn't want him to go to. But because of the covenant of God over him, favor located him. Favor will locate you in the name of Jesus. Isaac was favored. In the book of Genesis chapter 26, the Bible said that Isaac went to Gerar because there was famine, and he stayed in Gerar because God told him to stay there. And he planted and he received favor. He received so much favor that his prosperity was so much that even the Philistines began to envy him because of the favor of God. Now Isaac was the child of Abraham, the only child that Abraham had. And then Jacob was the son of Isaac, and he was favored throughout his life. If you read Genesis chapter 28 verse 1, he talks about the blessing of God that was upon Jacob. Then Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said to him, you shall not take a wife from the boy. I want us to pay attention to the blessing that he received. Hallelujah. So after Jacob, the Bible said that he was favored even in the prison. Wherever you are today that looks as if it's a prison, favor will locate you. Favor will bring you out in the name of Jesus. In the house of Pharaoh, he was favored. Pharaoh, the only difference between him and Pharaoh was the throne. He was the one that was doing everything. He was the prime minister of Egypt. And I was talking to the choir one day. I said, the Queen of England, she's the queen, she's the head of England. But who really actually calls the shots in England? The prime minister. It's the same way that Joseph was in Egypt. He called the shots. All the king had to do was just to sign. Whatever he said went. Hallelujah. And if you look down and down, the children of Israel, when they were getting out of Egypt, they were favored. The Bible says in the book of Exodus chapter 12, Exodus 12, 34 to 36, Exodus 12, 34 to 36, and you shall observe 34. So the people took their dough before it was leavened, having their kneading bowls bound up in their clothes on their shoulders. This was the wedlock. The father just went and brought her into the house. But I want to tell you today, it does not matter what your story is. Favor of God is following you today. And when you go back home, you will be honored in the name of Jesus. It has happened before. There was a man in the scripture, his name was called Jephthah. When he was born out of wedlock, but when it was time for God to favor him, there is nothing that happens to us these days that is not already done in the scriptures. When God was about to favor Jephthah, even the people of his household went to him and said, Jephthah, come and rule us. The same will be your story in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Favor produces increased assets, especially in the area of real estate. Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 23 says, O Naphtali, be satisfied with favor. Possess the west and possess the south. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We are the children of favor. God, the pastor told us a story on Wednesday about a pastor who owned a $200,000 home. And it was time for God to favor him. And one unbeliever called him and said, I need you to come and see my house. I need you because this house belongs to you. And the man, he said, forget the man of God, pastor, very humble man of God. He said, don't worry about it. 2 weeks later, because favor was radiating on the head of that servant of God, the man called him again. He said, I need you to come. Your God said I should give you this house. I don't want it. He said I should take your own house. So the man went. When he went to the house, the front of the house there is a water fountain. The fountain was coming. The floor of the fountain, where the fountain is coming from, is made with onyx. And the man saw the house. It's worth $7.5 million. And the man looked at the guy, the humble pastor. Look at the guy and said, how much do you pay for the water bill for this fountain? That was his concern. And the man said, I'm giving you, it's paid for. Everything is paid for. Favor of God will bring real estate to you. Where you have not, some houses they are selling them for how many people go on Mississauga Road in Mississauga? I drive, anytime I have opportunity, I just drive the vehicle. And I tell me and my daughter, we just say we claim this. We receive this in the name of Jesus. Those houses are in millions. Hallelujah. When I'm getting my own, that house, I'm not going to pay millions for it. Because the favor of God will produce it. Receive it for yourself. In the name of Jesus. Favor produces great victories in the midst of great impossibilities. In the book of Joshua, throughout Joshua, there was victory, even despite impossibilities. Favor produces recognition, even when you seem unlikely to receive it. David was favored by Saul. In the book of 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 22, David was favored by Saul. Saul had to be looking for him. Even where he was not recognized. Come, I need you to come and help me. Said to the father of David, said, Jesse, I need your son because there is an evil spirit that is, running after him, and he needed somebody to play her. And because of the favor of God, David was brought. Do you know why David was brought into the house of Saul? So that he could learn how to be a king. Not so that he could just play her, but so that he could look at this is how the palace looks. You can't be, when you become a king, you need to know some things. That's the reason the presidential thing in America is really scary at this time. There are some things that you need to have understood. There are some things that you need to know before you get to the throne. And David had to learn those things. Not only to play harp, while he was playing the harp, he was learning, kings make this decree. Kings dress this way. They always wear purple. Oh, this is how the queen sit. That was what he was learning. And favor brought him into that palace. Favor will bring you to your high place in the name of Jesus. Favor produces prominence and preferential treatment. We talked about Esther. She was crowned, despite the fact that she was a Jew in a land that did not belong to her. But she was crowned as a queen of that land. She was treated with prominence and she was given preferential treatment. Favor produces petition granted even by ungodly civil authorities. I have seen petitions being granted by ungodly authorities in this land. There are people that have homes in our midst in this church and they don't have their PR card yet. One of the prerequisites in this country to own a home is that you become a landed person, so that you don't run away and don't pay the mortgage. But Favour looked upon these individuals and grants them access that they overlooked some of these things. Hallelujah. They will be granted access in the name of Jesus. Favour causes policies, rules, regulations, and laws to be changed and reversed to your advantage. Favour produces battles won, which you don't even have to fight, because God will fight them for you. Amen. God will fight your battles for you. Favour will fight your battles for you. The children of Israel, the Bible said that hold your peace. In the book of Exodus, it told them, it said, don't fight the battle. Just hold your peace, because the battle is of the Lord. The God of Favour will fight your battles for you. In the name of Jesus. Now, how do I trigger Favour? And this is where I'm going to stop today. Next week we will finish it by the grace of God if I can't today. First thing to do to trigger Favour is faith. Any promise, one and all the promises that God has given to us as His children, all of them, we get them by faith. It is not of law, it is by faith. Faith was what Esther had when she went to the king's court. Favour was what she had when she came out. In the book of Esther chapter 5, she was not supposed to be going into the king's court without being told. It wasn't her turn yet. But because of the faith that she had in her God. And by the way, Esther is one book that they didn't mention the name of God. But if you want to talk about favour and providence, divine favour, divine providence, that's where it is. So God was working in the background in that book. And Esther went to the king by faith. She told her people, she said, if I perish, I perish. Let me go into the presence of the king. Faith will make you to face challenges that look as if I do this, I'm going to die. But by faith, you go in and you say, I am not going to die because I have Favour right behind me. And that was what Esther did. When she went in by faith. When she came out, Favour pursued her to come out. Favour will come out with you in the name of Jesus. Faith is a free gift. It doesn't cost you anything. Though you have responsibility. One of the reasons that we as Christians are missing it these days is because we talk about faith, and we think that every responsibility of faith is on God. The responsibility that we have is to walk by faith. Faith is action. It's not something that you will sit down. I'm walking by faith. I'm looking for a job. Favour is pursuing me, and you are sitting down. You didn't send out resume. I sent a message to the Ignite group recently. The Lord put it in my heart to be praying for them regarding the favour of full scholarships. So I started praying. Then I sent them a message. I said, if you want to get because Pastor D is praying, doesn't mean that you have to apply for the scholarship. So the one thing that faith does is you believe that you have received it, but you have to do what you need to do. Take the work, take the step of faith. So faith is one of the things that triggered Favour. Why do I say that it triggers? Because Favour is already out there. It's not something that we are going to be asking, God, please give me favour. God, Favour is already part of the covenant. And once a covenant, it's like me and Pastor. I am married to him. I can't begin to beg him and say, please marry me now. No, because I bear his last name. Anywhere I go, I am known as Ogunsanya. Because I bear his last name. The same thing with you and God. Because you have been engrafted to Jesus Christ. You have been engrafted as a child of God. You don't need to, and Favour is one of the privileges. I can't ask him now to say, can I bear your name, please? I don't want to bear Arojojoye anymore. I want to be Ogunsanya. He's going to be telling you like, but it's already on your marriage certificate. And it's the same thing with the covenants of God. The covenant that God has made, the covenant of the blessing, is something that you need to receive. It's not something that is going to come again. It is something that has been given. And what you use to trigger it, one of them is faith. It is not through the law. It must be received by faith and trust in God. To walk by faith, you must stop depending on the world system and start to depend on the system of God's kingdom. The system, like Pastor was saying today, the system of the world will tell you that if you want to get out of poverty, you need to save. Take your money and put in the bank. The kingdom of God says to get out of poverty, you need to give. So you need to begin to change your mind that by faith, I am walking in favor. And you need to begin to look at what faith encompasses. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. In Genesis chapter 12 verse 1, the Lord told Abraham, he said, get out of your people. Why did he ask him to get out? His peoples were idol worshippers. They had no familiarity with God. So sometimes you need to get out of your people. Praise the Lord. How to trigger faith? Number 2, line up with the word of God. We must only obey the word. In the book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 19, if you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. Obedience is what is necessary. If you look at that scripture that Abraham did, that we wrote about Abraham, he didn't argue with God. The Bible said he got up and went. God didn't tell him where he's taking you. He said to a land where I will show you. He has not shown him. Some of us will be, God tells us to do something and you'll be negotiating with God. God, how now? How am I going to do it now? So what is the end result now? What is the end? So how are we going to do it? I was sharing with one of my daughters the other day. I said, when God said, take the women to Niagara Falls, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know the end result. But after I obeyed God, there were some blockages on the way. But God showed favor. Because of obedience to God. God just said take them. There were times that I would think maybe we should just go to Marriott downtown and enjoy ourselves. But I would discard those thoughts. I would say, God said go to Niagara Falls. And today testimonies are still coming out of that trip, 3-day trip that we did. God is good, hallelujah. Line up yourself with the word of God. And I will end today, so next week we'll continue with changing your self-image. That is the first thing that you have to do. You need to change your self-image. Your self-image has a lot to do with what God can do for you and how far you can go in life. How you see yourself. In the book of Numbers chapter 13, verses 30 to 33, the children of Israel, Numbers 30, they Caleb cooking the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it. Caleb and Joshua were the only ones that had that mentality. The other ones had grasshoppers mentality because they were like, the other 10 people that they sent to the land to go and view it. They had grasshoppers mentality. They said even though it is a very beautiful land, it's filled with milk and honey, but if you see the giants, they didn't see any giants. They didn't. But because of the mentality that they had in their heads, they could not get the favor that they needed. The Bible said that apart from Joshua and Caleb, everybody else died in the wilderness. You will get your promised land in the name of Jesus. The book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 17. Hebrews 10, 17, and he has their sins and their lawless deeds I will remember no more. And then 8 verse 12. Hebrews 8 verse 12. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their lawless deeds I will remember no more. You are the righteousness of God. You are not an unrighteous person. Pastor was telling us the other week that we are not sinners. Once we have given our lives to Christ, we have the blood of Jesus has brought us from the ground and put us beside. We are in the God class. Do you understand what I mean? You know, some people have their own class. You know, I belong to this class. We are in God's class. God has made us to sit jointly beside Him with Christ Jesus. So you begin to change your self-image. Your self-image will be an image that I am favored. Favor is going with me. Favor, as I'm going out, favor is going with me. As I am coming in, favor is coming with me. That is the self-image that you want. If you have an image of being unrighteous, just give me the crumbs. You are no longer there. you need to begin to look at yourself differently. There are many reasons God saved you. To bring glory to himself, to appease his justice, to demonstrate his sovereignty. But one of the sweetest reasons God saved you is because he is fond of you. He likes to have you around. He thinks you are the best. You are the apple of his eye. He thinks about you all the time. The Bible says that he has your name engraved in his palm, and he looks at it. He says your walls are ever before him. So what do you think of yourself? Think of yourself as the righteousness of God. The book of Romans chapter 5 verse 17. He says that we are the righteousness of God through Christ. Let's read it. For if by one man's offense death reigned through the one, much more those who receive abundance of grace and the gift of righteousness will reign in life through the one, Jesus Christ. Are you reigning in life? Are you reigning in favor? Is the favor of God enveloping you? Is there an increase in your level of who you are in Christ? You are the righteousness of God. Expect favor. Expect that covenant of the blessing to go with you wherever you go. If you are going out in the morning, recognize favor. See, let me tell you simple ways to recognize favor. Like yesterday, me and my daughter, we went to the mall, and we found a nice parking spot where, by the door where everybody likes. And I looked at her and said, favor. Simple things like that. You are going somewhere, somebody opens a door for you. Favor. You are going somewhere, somebody calls you and says, you are at McDonald's getting your morning coffee. Somebody pays for you $1.75. Favor. And then you begin to see the increase in it. You begin to see increase in favor. The reason our Christians don't get favor is because we don't recognize it. Recognize it and it will increase it. Whatever you begin to think about, whatever you begin to recognize becomes big in your life. Very soon, people will be calling you and be giving you thousands of dollars. Just because you recognize that little favor. Rise up on your feet this afternoon. Let's make our confession. Next week we'll finish it. There are still some other things that you need to know about favor. But come with me. Let's go to the slide for the confession. Say after me, in the name of Jesus. I decree from this moment